So begin by noticing that you're simply observing your breath, observing yourself sitting, observing yourself breathing, observing the tightness in your body, observing the thoughts in your head. And just be aware that there is a difference between the observer and what you're noticing. There's a difference between the observer and the observed. It's helpful to notice that. It's helpful to remember that you can observe your tight shoulders. You can observe the contraction in your heart. And there's some sense of distance or separation. Observing kind of has the quality of steadfastness, always on, always here. It doesn't matter what passes through your screen of awareness. You're still just observing, always observing. So sense that. Remember that. Be that. And then notice what you are observing. And notice that you're observing. Begin by observing the breath. And the breath is more of a verb than a noun. So simply observing the body breathing. Observing only one breath. This one. You can, of course, also observe your thoughts. But we tend to fuse with our thoughts, merge with our thoughts, and forget about the space. Lose sense of ourself. Allow your attention to settle on a neutral part of the body, the breath. And maybe your breath is shallow, and you can observe that. Maybe your breath is deep, and you could observe that. Maybe your breath is regular or irregular. Whatever you notice, simply observe. Don't try to intervene. You might notice your mind judging you. Once again, that can simply be observed without merging or believing or becoming that thought. So simply let yourself notice what it's like to be alive, to simply exist, to be yourself. What does it feel like to be simply breathing? Can you enjoy this moment of solitude? Without needing to plan the future or regard the future as more important than right now. What does the future have over this moment? Why not now? Why not simply the breath? Notice where you are in this moment. Notice who you are in this moment. Have you become a thought, a concept, an idea? Or are you aware of right now? How are you relating to this moment? What do you notice? What feelings are here? And whatever you discover, find no fault in it, so that you can remain connected with it, curious about it. Find no fault in the fact that your shoulders are tight, and your jaw is clenched, and your hands are gripping, and your legs are tense. Notice what happens when you simply regard it with your attention, with your kindness, and your curiosity. What happens when you regard your belly and notice the tightness and the contraction and find no fault in it? What happens when you regard your inner experience without judgment? Radically accepting what's here. Regarding everything equally. Not turning away. Not making reality wrong. Not making yourself wrong. But simply notice it. Perhaps you've tried everything but simply noticing. You tried to get rid of the tightness in your muscles. You tried to stop your heart from beating out of your chest. You tried to resist the tension in your belly. You tried to ignore yourself. You tried to blame yourself. You tried to hate yourself. You tried to change yourself. Have you tried to simply acknowledge yourself? Have you tried to stop doing all that efforting? And for the first time, not be in opposition with your experience, so that your muscles can be tight And your heart can beat like this. And you can allow it all to be this way. And simply acknowledge the way it is. Yes, I feel this. Yes, I know this. I'm here. Yes, I can be with this. What's it like to not find fault in yourself or in the feelings? Notice how it allows you to stay connected with your truth, to stay connected with your experience, to stay connected with who you are, and to be more transparent to yourself. There's no shame in dysregulation. There's no shame in anxiety. There's no shame in sadness. There's no shame in being the way you are. Notice what happens when you shine the light of your attention on whatever it is you're noticing. Sensing the condition of your heart. Sensing the movement of the breath. Sensing yourself existing this way. And being transparent to yourself. And finding no fault in how you are. Love helps us to relax. And love can be unconditional. Normally we only love our shiny bits. Can you love the other side too? The tightness in your shoulders, the soreness in your back, the tension in your belly, the shallowness of your breath. Can you love that too? Can you connect with that too? Can you allow that too? So that we don't need to be polarized or pick a side. Am I for myself or am I against myself? Am I for this person or am I against this person? Sensing the polarity of the mind. And simply relaxing your preferences, your judgments, so that you can be attuned with what's here now. And noticing the way you're breathing. Noticing the way you're sitting. And finding no fault in it. and not minding what is here. Relaxing your resistance against the resistance. Loving what is unlovable. Accepting what is unacceptable. So that you might attend to your whole experience without picking and choosing. What's happening now? Where are you now? Who are you now? Once again, find no fault in the way you are, in the way things are unfolding. Radical acceptance for this moment. Radical love for this moment. Radical permission in this moment. Radical authenticity in this moment. Radical truth in this moment. Or simply being. That's steady, aware, abiding, present.